Today's lesson is about the PI method, which is a method for writing cohesive paragraphs. What is PI? PI is a way to write a paragraph in parts and in components. The first part, like a pie, the crust of a pie or the top crust of a pie, would be the point. The next part, the filling of the pie, would be the information. And finally, the bottom crust would be the explanation. So P represents point. So writers should start their paragraphs by introducing the point of the paragraph. This is what your paragraph is about, or what it is you are trying to prove. So your point must relate to your thesis statement. If your point does not relate to or support your thesis statement, then your paragraph most likely doesn't support your thesis. So let's see an example of the P portion of the PI method. So in this example, our point is, although the bald eagle is still listed as an endangered species, its ever-increasing population is very encouraging. Here, your point should be introduced with a topic sentence, and this is an example of a topic sentence. The next portion of the PI method would be I for information. In order to provide supporting evidence for your point, you should provide additional information. This section of the paragraph should illustrate and support your point through data, examples, personal experiences, published research findings, quotes, or other factual material. So let's return to that example. And to review, the point was, although the bald eagle is still listed as an endangered species, its ever-increasing population is very encouraging. So then the very next sentence, a transition, signaled by a transition, which is also a way of introducing a quote, which I have commented on many of your essays about. According to J. Shepard, and that's our transition or our introduction of the information that we're about to provide. Quote, the bald eagle seems to have stabilized its population, at the very least, almost everywhere. End quote. And then the in-text citation comes next. This example supports the point of your paragraph. The explanation is the next portion of the pie. The explanation, you should be providing an explanation for the previous examples that you have used. In other words, you want to make clear to the reader how and why the specific points you chose support your point and thus your thesis. So now we're returning to that example again for the final portion of the paragraph. So let's read, although the bald eagle is still listed as an endangered species, its ever-increasing population is very encouraging. According to J. Shepard, the bald eagle seems to have stabilized its population, at the very least, almost everywhere. And so then the final part of the paragraph is the explanation portion. We can assume then that there is hope for the longevity of this majestic bird. So this is a summation, an interpretation of the information that you have provided. Don't assume your examples will speak for themselves. The reader needs to have the examples explain so they know exactly how you, as the writer, want them to interpret the results. So that sums up the PI method. P equals point, I is information, and E is explanation. So remember, good writers strive for clarity in all of their writing. Happy writing to all of you.